So let's come to the question number two. So the question number two belongs to the same text. So the text which gives us the idea about life, how life has stopped in the present day. You would find out that how people engaged in a variety of jobs and how they could not get the time for themselves and their family, their community, and for their own desire. So on the basis of that, we get the second question. So it is a purely motivational or called as a philosophical based text. And the second questions point out here that Soren has a degree from Oxford University and he worked in the banking sector for a decade but was not very happy with his life. Now, this can be called a kind of a case study. So, and the question here it asked that the author of the passages most likely give Soren which of the following pieces of advice. Now, in this question, we need to observe one of the very important key words that's called as a most likely. Now, why we need to observe this key phrase called most likely? Because this gives us the idea that from the option, we have also other answers, right? That could be valid, isn't it? But out of that or out of those, we need to identify which one is the means of most or best appropriate answer choice or best advice, right? That the author could give to Soren, isn't it? So, and the another part is called as a pieces of advice. Now, what the author has to give means the author could give pieces of advice to whom? To Soren, and that would be considered as the best or most. Please do remember these are the keywords or key phrases. Now, let's look into the options. So, the first option pointed stick to his boring job in the bank as it can entitle him to lifelong pension. Now, again, you would find out that means this is what the author doesn't give. Why? Now, because the author doesn't say that means stick to your boring job or the job that you hate the most. The author stated that you could quit the job, right? So you could quit the job if you hate it the most. Second option, which is pointed here, give up the job and follow his passion of opening a fish and rasgulla eatery in Calcutta. Right. Now, if you look into this particular statement or sentence where the author stated that if you don't like the job, then leave it and means do what your interest is, right? Or what your desire is. So if you want to open your own business, then go for it, whether that business is of fish and rasculated. So this could be probably, or this possibly a kind of a advice or a piece of advice that author could give to Soren, isn't it? But whether it is called as a most likely advice or not, that also we need to observe, right? So now move to the third option. The third option stated accept the fact that he would have neither time nor energy to enjoy his fat pay packet, right? So in that case, despite you are getting one's fat pay packet or uh, fat pay package, so or you can say that a good amount of salary, and you have also good means exotic villa, or and also you have good car, right? Or means good vehicle, right? So despite that also you can't means get the time to use them, right? So another thing is called as accept the fact that he would have neither time nor energy to enjoy his fat pay package. So it means the author probably not stated the kind of idea that where you are, you should stay there, right? So despite you face a lot of problems or difficulties, so you consider that it is in your luck, right? The author could not point out such kind of advice or a piece of advice to Soren, right? The author made a beautiful means statement in the passage itself that what if you don't like the job, then you quit it, right? So it's not like what means um, that that job is everything for you, right? Because there are many people who quit their job and get the success in other means uh, other areas where their interest is or where their desire is, right? So this could not be called as a author's answer or author's you can say that a piece of advice to Soren. Now moving to the fourth one, what the fourth one is stated. So option C cannot be the answer. Now look into the option 4 or D, where it is stated not even dream of his pet ambition, right? Not even dream of his pet ambition of opening a fish and rasgulla eatery in Calcutta one day. So it means he is ambitious, but the problem is called as a means he doesn't have that means what do we say that he doesn't have that courage to fulfill or called as a means he doesn't have that interest to open or called as involve into it, right? So that's why we also find out that option D and option D, option C, and option A, these three options are somehow creating a kind of a means demotivation, but cannot be called as a motivated one or called as a kind of a encouraging or inspiring to the person whose name is Soren, right? So because stick to his boring job, it means somebody who is getting depression. So you're telling him to sustain with that, which is not means called as a piece of advice. Second, it's called as again you are stating accept the fact. You are in a kind of a job, so you accept the fact, and you don't have also time for doing such kind of a thing. Then means you continue with your job. That could not be called as a means a kind of a advice or a piece of advice. Third is called as a not even dream of his pet ambition of opening a fish and rasgulla eatery in Calcutta one day, right? So not even dream of his pet ambition means the ambition which is very close to him. He is ambitious. He wanted to open a fish and rasgulla eatery, but means you advise him it's not his dream, right? So his dream is something else. So it means you are diverting him or called as a, demotivating him or called as a discouraging him. So therefore, we consider that means option A cannot be the answer, option C cannot be the answer, and option D cannot be the answer. So only our answer option B will be the correct, right? Even though it's a fish and regulatory, right, shop, but you are advising him to open it if he has the passion for it, isn't it? So therefore, option B could be called as a appropriate answer. Okay, I hope you understand this. Thank you.